Regarding its only function as a store of value, I disagree with Michael Saylor. On the other hand, if Saylor is correct, then if it is a store of value, its value will fluctuate. In a post on July 19th, Julian Bidd, head of macro research at the financial advisory publication, predicted that Bitcoin is set for a significant rise amidst intense volatility. This follows a series of events where the US went from using gold to an oil-backed currency, then the petrodollar system, and finally Bitcoin. If Bitcoin doesn't become a medium of exchange, then manipulation and suppression will occur. An estimated 11,190,000 BTC was predicted by global macro investors. Bitcoin, according to BD, might hit six-figure all-time highs. He emphasized the present situation of the Bollinger Band's volatility indicator, noting that they are extremely tight compared to historical norms. Only 2 other months, in April 2016 and July 2023, have we witnessed the weekly Bollinger Band so compressed, he summarized. Bands by Bollinger, an important cryptocurrency volatility indicator that shows how strong price patterns are on weekly time frames historically. There have been 2 instances of tight Bollinger Bands, and the gap between the upper and lower bands has rarely been this thin. Following such compression, there have been significant price hikes. In the 12 months that followed, Bitcoin's price increased significantly. In a previous prediction, BDL emphasized patience during the bull market's steepest price drawdowns and said that Bitcoin may reach a range of 140,000 to 190,000 in the future. This time around, BDL is predicting a similar rise, 40, so I'm going to go from a different way into this then from an if you knew that the entire history of the world had to control money and extract that, and that base of money was extractive to 8 billion people, write that, and that's the world we've always lived in to get to this point, and what that would say is really simply if I could steal a little bit of money from people over time and they didn't notice, then I could create an empire in doing so. So we know the entire state of the world, entire for all time, has always looked like that. And then Bitcoin came in on layer 1 and removed the ability to do that. And all of the attacks on Bitcoin over the last 15 years have all been trying to stop it, and it only gets stronger and stronger and more decentralized and more secure over time. So if you knew that then, and from that then, and you couldn't stop layer 1, then you would have to stop layer 2, you'd have to, and what that would look like is stable coins. That what that would look like is we're going to make us dollar transact on top of this stable coins, and we would move essentially from the petrodollar, so gold, back petrodollar to Bitcoin back, but then we could suppress its price because people were using a different medium of exchange on top of it, and we could run derivatives and constantly hold its price down like we did to gold, right? And what would that look like from what would not might happen what? It would have to happen to essentially to essentially say that because if it moved out as a unit, as a currency, as more and more people use it, then it would remove the ability to steal, right? It would we know the US, and when I say theft, I want to be careful. It's not, there's a whole bunch of people manipulating the theft to say everybody involved in it, but we know that natural state of the free market is deflation, and we also must concur that anything else is trying to stop that deflation. And so if you now created a stable coin or a use of us dollar, because more people see value in the dollar. I'm not saying people wouldn't be tricked by it. I'm saying they would be tricked by it. They would use a US dollar all over the world because they see it more valuable than their own currency. But it would also be because all a stable coin is something that is guaranteed to lose money at the same rate as this a US dollar, right, against Bitcoin. So these systems are incompatible. One is the free market prices fall, one is stealing more of your time and money. And and it's really so now through that lens, if you were trying to stop Bitcoin at layer 2, what would you do? I know what I would do. I would make stable coins legal. I would make an effort to decrease the pace of stealth custodial. I would create an ETFs just so people didn't hold in on their own wallet. And I would try to slow down the building in Lightning and feed everything else that were native to Bitcoin. I would promote a whole bunch of other altcoins or bridges to be able to create confusion in what's happening. So through that lens, you could see this coming a mile away. If anything, just the nuance on these discussions, it creates almost fights in this when it's nuance of the world in transition. It's going to be chaotic, and these are nuanced conversations because we've never seen something like Bitcoin and what that could mean to the future, and it's extraordinarily powerful. Well, our destination, but by doing so, you can comprehend divergent viewpoints and arguments around our destination. New research in a post on X from July 9th suggests that Bitcoin is ready for a big surge in value due to the impending extreme volatility. The financial advisory publication's head of macro research, Julian Bidd, the current situation of the Bollinger Band's volatility indicator was highlighted by the global macro investor who predicted a Bitcoin price of up to 11,190,000 USD. He believes that Bitcoin might hit six-figure all-time highs if volatility signals continue to play out as they have in the past. It should be noted that they are extremely close when compared to other periods. This kind of compression in the weekly Bollinger Bands has only occurred twice before, in April 2016 and July 20,123. He reviewed the Bollinger Bands, an important cryptocurrency volatility indicator that shows how strong price patterns are on weekly time frames. Extremely tight Bollinger Bands have historically been accompanied by substantial price rises, and the current gap between the upper and lower bands is unusually narrow. In the 12 months that followed, Bitcoin's price increased significantly. Last month, Bitcoin reached a range of 140,000 to 190,000, according to Biddle, who predicts that a similar move this time might make it even higher. Similarly, Biddle predicted Bitcoin's future and urged patience throughout the worst price drawdowns of the bull market.